Hello everyone, my name is Nadeem Khan. Welcome to Uncommon Literature. Today we are going to do Ghosts by Henrik Ibsen. It is a play which was written in 1881 and performed in 1882. So by the title you might think that the play is about ghost in respect to some horror story or something, but let me tell you here the title is little misleading in the sense that here ghost deals with the haunting past of all the major characters in the play and how this past is haunting their present lives as well. So let us begin. So the play is divided into 3 acts and the whole uh, action takes place in the house of Mrs. Alving. In Act 1, we see that Jacob Estrand has come to meet Regina, his daughter, and he is asking her to leave the job of maid at Mrs. Alving's house and come with him. He is going to establish a hostel for sailors and he wants his daughter to come with him that she might find a good husband for her. But Regina does not want it and she wants to follow the upper caste people, and that is why she wants to be associated with the house of Mrs. Alving only. Pastor Menders comes and he also tries to tell Regina that she should go with her father, but she asks him to find a good job in some upper class house for her and she does not want to go back to her father. Mrs. Alving comes down and she meets Pastor who has come to get some documents done for the orphanage which Mrs. Alving is building in the memory of her husband. He does not like the books which Mrs. Alving is reading and he saw the books kept on the table. So he questions her habit of reading these books which he thinks strange. He also mentions that once upon a time she left her husband and came to his house and he made her understand that this is wrong and she should go back to her husband and live with him only. At this, Mrs. Alving reveals that her husband was a drunkard and he was a womanizer, meaning that he did not respect women and he used to have relationships out of the wedding law with other women. She was living a very miserable life with her husband and that is why she left him. Later on, when she was living with her husband, she did not want her child, that is Oswald, to get any of the qualities of his father. So she sent the child away in some foreign country. We learn that Oswald has already arrived in the house and he is sleeping upstairs. He comes down and talks about his years which he spent in foreign countries, and he also argues with Pastor on living a life out of marital bond, which Pastor does not like. Pastor complains to Mrs. Alving that how did she let her son grow up to be such a person and who is living in such a lifestyle. But there is one thing that Mrs. Alving always hid the reality of his father from Oswald, and that is why she also tries to maintain the reputation of her husband in the society. So there are two reasons why she wants to maintain the reputation of her husband in society and why she is building an orphanage in his name only, because if Oswald gets to know about the reality of his father, he would obviously become very devastated and ultimately he will go into that same path. Second reason is also that she wants to create a good environment around her son. she does not want people to come and insult her son Oswald. She further mentions to Pastor that her husband was very characterless person. He once impregnated the maid Johanna, and what happened later on, that they gave her some money and got her married to Jacob. So that this is how Regina was born, and Regina is the step sister of Oswald. As soon as she has revealed this truth, we hear the cry of Regina from kitchen, because Oswald was trying to flirt with her, trying to touch her. So obviously we have a scene of incest here. In Act 2, we see Pastor is asking Jacob that why did not he tell Regina about the father, about truth. So Jacob says that he just wanted to maintain the reputation of Johanna. That is why he did not tell Regina. And Mrs. Alving comes to Oswald to tell the truth to him, but he tells her that he is suffering from syphilis, which is a sexually transmitted disease which he has inherited from his father at birth. A doctor in Paris had diagnosed him, and he had told him about the disease, that he has got this disease from his father. So the act ends with the realization that the orphanage has got the fire and it is burning. So before moving to the next act, I would just draw your attention, student, that the title here plays its role of ghost, that however they are living in present, however the father died 10 years before, but still the deeds which he committed 10 years back or in his lifetime, they are still carrying the burden of that. Regina is there, and Oswald has been suffering from a disease which he got from his father. Okay, so that is why the title has significance here. In Act 3, we see that orphanage is completely burnt now, and Jacob convinces Pastor that it is his doing, that people will blame him only, he will be put to disgrace, because Pastor left the candles burning negligently, but Jacob offers to take the blame on himself, but he wants the funds for his sailor hostel, and Pastor agrees. Later we see Mrs. Alving has told Oswald and Regina about the truth, and Regina suddenly goes to take her part of inheritance. Oswald mentions that if he goes in a state which is not under control, he should be given the morphine pills. So morphine pills are sort of drug which, if given the overdose, can kill the person. So he is telling his mother that if he goes in a state or in a condition which is unbearable, so he should be given the extra dose, the overdose of morphine pills. As the sun comes up, Oswald shrinks in his chair and talks unintelligently, and Mrs. Alving desperately searches for the pills, and the play ends with Mrs. Alving standing with pills, unsure what to do. So with this, we have come to the end of this play. If you have not understood anything, you can write me in the comment section, and I am sure if you read the play now, you will surely understand it. I have noticed that most of the viewers have not subscribed to my channel. So if you are watching this video, so I request you to subscribe the channel right now. Thank you.